Hey folks, welcome to Waiting for Nintendo, where I'm not the usual guy that introduces them, but you know what? We're gonna do a Pokemon tier list because that's kind of my
Yeah,
thing.
we could do something. Okay, so we brought in our first guest ever, even though it's just a picture. I assure you there's a real person behind it.
Yeah,
And yeah, he
nerd
does a
me.
lot of Pokemon stuff. So we thought it'd be fun to do a tier list.
Absolutely. Yeah, PNG tuber me. Don't worry, I'm getting the VTuber model soon. So
Oh
Oh,
boy.
yeah,
nice.
we have a full tier list of every single Pokemon game and spin-off that has been released on consoles. No mobile devices like Unite or TCG Live or Pocket or anything, because those games don't count.
Something tells me we're missing a lot of games because there are so many Pokemon games you can't even like quantify them, but it feels like we got all the heavy hitters. As long as we have all
Yeah.
the mainline games, I'm happy.
Yeah, we have. I believe me, I went through the whole list. Considering the fact that I want to do a video where I beat every one of these games in a single month, like marathon style. I'm
Okay.
Luck
thinking
with that.
I think this is the full list.
All right, a quick question for both of you before we get started. I should clarify, I have only played a couple of these games. I will still be ranking them based on vibes. I'll act as a tiebreaker.
I like that.
Jason, have you played all of these games?
Not every last one of them, but I would say a hearty majority I have.
Okay, and then Sean Chaotic Meatball, have you played all of these games? The way that you described your
Yes.
marathon challenge, I assume yes.
I have played every single last game on this list.
Okay, so
All right.
your weight's probably a little heavier than ours, but like let's get into it.
Sure.
Okay. So starting off, the games that started off the franchise, Red and Blue. These games are, I mean, they started Pokemania, so they kind of have the reputation of they should be up there, but at the same time, I'm like, oh,
I'm feeling
they're
big.
hard to go back to.
These are my favorite Pokemon games, and I don't even think it's particularly close. But it's really hard to rank firsts because, this invented the whole template that the series would follow forever.
I think
Yeah.
B is a good starting place. Respectable, but like there's some wiggle room because we can adjust as we go.
Yeah,
I don't even think they got
B,
better.
Like, there is no like mainline Pokemon game that I'd say is below B tier.
All right.
Like all of the the gameplay is fun. The gameplay is enjoyable enough to where it's not ever going to be bad unless they screw something up entirely, but that's what the spin-offs will do. Some
So
of them.
we've drawn a line in the chalk here. I'm going to have to fight for every other game to be below
Well,
these
hold
two.
on, Jason. This is kind of like when we put Mario 1 and B tier a little bit.
Yeah, but like this is better than
No,
I don't
it
the thing
probably
is I don't think Pokemon got better. Like Mario got better.
insane.
I don't think Pokemon got better.
How did the introduction of natures and like
I mean, they
friggin'
incrementally
abilities not
improved,
interest
but
you?
like they didn't like actually like make a more substantial game than the original.
This is such a good Jason take. I'm loving
I'm
this.
going to have to fight you this whole way, and this is going to be fun. I'm just rubbing my hands together here.
I do
Maybe-
think like even though they improved upon like what they invented in Pokemon, like in the original games, I don't think they ever like invented anything new. I don't know what I'm saying.
I will try to point out things that I think are new, so that maybe it helps with.
All right, whatever.
perspective,
Well, I
but
guess we can just
I
move on to
understand B
pinball.
tier.
All right,
All right,
whatever.
Pokemon Pinball. Does anybody
Fun
even
game.
like pinball? Like, you
I
go
hate
to an arcade,
pinball.
you might
This is
play it
the
for 5
only-
minutes. Who cares?
This is
really?
the only pinball game I've ever gotten into.
It's cool. Don't
It's
get me
cool.
wrong.
You can
it's
put
just,
a AAA battery in the cartridge and it rumbles.
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
it'll like little fidget when you hit the thing.
Yeah,
This
the whole
this is
box set is
screaming
like
C
huge.
tier.
Yeah, this is like a C tier game. It's still
Well,
fun, but it's not
No,
like
no, 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 no.
anything you're gonna
Despite
play
me
for
loving it, it's still a pinball game, so it has to be D or F.
D or F. You know what? I'll go with D.
D.
It's-
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't put a
Like,
yeah.
It has
There's gonna be
some
real
fun.
games in C.
Yeah, like it has some fun. I think anything in F is just not fun whatsoever, but D,
Yeah.
you can get some short bursts out of it.
It's cool how you can catch Pokemon in a pinball game.
Yeah, like the Pokeball being the pinball is like that's the way they iterated on it. It's cool. I like it.
They have different tables. There's a red table and a blue table.
But
That's
yeah,
fun, I guess. I don't
It's perfectly serviceable. For the first spin-off, they did fine.
know. All right. How about Snap?
Pokemon Snap though.
Ooh,
You know, this is the game that I've only played like once or twice.
Mm.
really?
And it did not hook me. I was
Yeah.
just bored
What?
the whole time. I'm like,
So I've
taking
played
pictures
Snap
and
more
I'm
than
just
you
like,
have.
I don't care about taking pictures. This is Pokemon. Oh yeah, it's in 3D. It's the first 3D one, so that's probably the novelty of it.
No,
but
it's a fun puzzle game. I like trying to figure out how to unlock the next stage. It's always like a cute little puzzle that you have to interact with the world in a unique way to get to.
Where would you
I'm a
put this,
fan.
Jason?
I'm a fan of Snap. I would definitely put it above Pinball.
Yeah.
I would say above Pinball is fine. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
This
I
is
think
C to
the
me.
novelty of it wore off after. I'm somebody who grew up on always having internet access, so I could just look something up if I need to. So I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with. How do I find all these Pokemon signs? What do I have to throw this stupid?
Nah. As
you
a
know.
kid, like actually figuring out how to unlock every stage was very rewarding.
Seems
Yeah,
like
I could
C
see.
or B.
I could see why that was rewarding.
The problem
to you.
is we put the originals in B, so that's a hard ceiling. We can't put it on the same level as the originals or above.
Yeah, I
So
can
I guess
agree
it
with
has
C
to be
tier.
C. Yeah.
All right, so yellow. I
Same
think
shit.
It just
It has
goes
to go
in
below.
the same tier as red and blue.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
not
same shit.
different enough. It's got some cool aspects. I like being able to get all 3 starters. I like the Pikachu friendship mechanic because it's the only Pokemon with friendship that has like a stat for it until Gen 2 where that
doesn't
becomes like an
matter.
evolution
It's the
method.
same game.
I think it's interesting you guys are. You see, like I would probably have just lumped this in with red and blue.
Yeah, that's what when he was making the tier list, I'm like, these are all the same.
Third
There's no
versions are
meaningful
Yeah,
different.
this- I would have had this be
admittedly,
one
yellow's
image.
the least
Exactly.
different. third
Exactly.
version,
That's
but-
what I told him. That's exactly what I told him.
What did you tell me? I'm sorry.
I told you that all 3 versions in the same gen should all be the same image.
You know what? I could have
It's
gotten
too
with
late
that for,
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that for yellow, but I think Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum have arguments.
I don't think they're not enough to be like on a different tier.
Yeah. Would you ever
Right, we
actually
can really,
split them up?
I don't know.
Like-
We can say that about
I would
Emerald
never-
and
I would
Platinum.
never.
I
All right,
think
I have a
there's
quick
no
question.
chance.
Quick question for you guys.
Okay.
I typically view like the final capstone game, like it seems like the reputation is usually a bit higher since it has the things from both versions. Do
Yeah.
you guys view any of the mainline games that came out first as like superior to like the crystals that came after?
I do have an answer for that.
I think the only one that has that argument is like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
worse story-wise
Yep.
compared to the first versions.
They
Okay.
are.
But like difficulty-wise, they're more interesting to me. Like,
Okay.
I
Are
guess.
they? I don't know. I thought
Oh, yeah.
Sun and Moon were fucking awful. Like, the sequel, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I thought they
We'll
were
get
such
there.
a step down.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
there.
I guess we'll get there. Stadium.
Stadium.
Yeah. Skipping over the Japan-only
Here, yeah.
Stadium Zero.
I have
Okay,
not
Stadium
played
Zero
Stadium
doesn't
1.
count.
That's
I've
not
only
true
played
because
Stadium
I
2.
destroyed you. I, took you out to the woodshed on one time we played this. Or did we play 2? I don't remember which one we played.
Jason, you and I played 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crushed me in 2.
Okay, it was 2. All right.
Yeah. But
So
I love the mini games in 2. I don't have enough experience with 1 to really say anything.
One's mini games are just about as good.
Yeah, the mini games are fun. That's something that they do at like Pokemon regionals, where they'll like VGC players will set up N64s and play the mini games together and stuff. It's kind of fun. But aside from that, it's another novelty of do you get to see the Pokemon battles in 3D, which it's fun, but I think it has some minute issues compared to like the red and blue battle system that make it a little bit different. Not a problem.
Well, it wasn't a
but
perfect
different.
science yet.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect science yet. Yeah. I like the gym leader castle mode. I like the being able to use the N64 transfer pack to be able to bring them in, and you had the ability to play the red and blue cartridges as well as yellow on your TV with it. You could play
That
it
is
with
a lot of
Duo
fun.
mode and Dodrio mode, which lets you play at 2 and 3 times speed. Official emulation.
An underrated feature of Pokemon Stadium is just being a Pokemon manager. Like, if you have all 3 versions, instead of manually trading between all of them, you can use Stadium to, transfer shit between the games.
The original
much-
bank.
Yes, exactly. It was
Literal-
much more efficient at that. And there
The
were
original
even
Pokemon
storage
box, Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, there were even storage boxes in Pokemon Stadium you could just, store them in as well, so...
Yeah, it is useful for that for sure. If you didn't have 2 Game Boys, that's pretty much the way you traded with
We
yourself.
put
and it
the
was cool.
original games too low. Can we move them up to A? I want more wiggle room because this is
No.
another game we can't put in the same level as those. But
I
like,
would-
I
Listen,
don't.
Fire Red and Leaf Green exist. How are they not gonna go? Like, they're not S tier games. They're like A tier. If I'm skipping ahead, like, of course.
What do you
the-
mean? They're like on
the
the
Gen
same
1
level as the
versions are
originals
gonna,
because
like,
they're just
take-
remakes.
They are substantially better remakes.
Yeah, they're better, but they're not original games. They lose points for being a remake.
How does that make sense?
What do you mean? How does that make sense?
They let you have, like, they gave you the modern abilities and IVs and natures, as well
That's
as
cool.
updating movesets, because
That's
most
cool.
of the Pokemon's level up movesets in red and blue and yellow sucked booty.
Yeah, but that's cool. But they didn't invent Pokemon. Like they didn't, make the adventure.
Yeah, but they also added the Sevi Islands. That was a
Which
nice
suck,
little
by the
addition there. The Trainer Tower is fun. The Elite
Yeah,
Four
like
round
exactly.
two,
But
where you
like
get to
all
fight
of their
those
worth
trainers.
is just additive. It's just like, okay, we took what was pretty good and then we slapped some other bullshit on.
They
and
made
you
it
can
better.
play a Doug
Have
Trio
you ever
racing
played through
minigame.
the Elite Four round 2 of Pokemon
Yeah.
Fire and Leaf Green?
Yeah, of course I
Seeing
have.
Lorelei throw out a Piloswine is cool.
There's
Seeing,
cool
Bruno's
stuff going
Onyxes
on in
evolve
these
into
games,
Steelix
but I
is
don't-
cool.
There's cool stuff going on in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but it's like I'm not gonna put it like a whole. I definitely can't put it above the originals. They're fucking remakes.
I'm looking at it from the perspective of, like, quality of game rather than the significance of their release and what they did on pop culture.
No, I think that should be included. Can we raise them to A? That's A.
Okay, fine.
originals are
I'll
A.
put them in A.
Just for the like because I don't want to put
Put them in A
Stadium-
so we can just put Stadium in B and move on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with
Is I want fucking room to put Stadium somewhere.
All right, listen. Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color. This is
A.
S tier. This is one
Never
of the best.
played.
Oh,
spin-offs
S
of all
tier.
time.
Okay, I was gonna.
This
okay.
is
Fuck.
this
you.
is a
Oh my
Pokemon
God.
game. If you, instead of doing regular Pokemon battles, did duels for your gym badges, it is so cool. You get the 8 gym badges in the club medals. You get the Elite Four in the Grandmasters, and they have better music than pretty much any Pokemon game up to like Gen 3. Gen 1 and 2 have nothing on it. It is so peak.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna. My initial leaning was A for this, but like, if you want to put it in S, I guess I have no issue with that.
This whole
Jason,
list
you should
is
be
a
the
farce.
tiebreaker.
This whole list. is
I've
a
never. I not only have I never touched this game, I have never had any interest in touching this game.
It's on
so-
NSO.
Yeah,
you should
and
play.
you
You
can-
play
you
more
can link
NSO than
battle
anyone
people
I
with that.
know.
You can do like the card pop where you trade your
I
cards
don't
with other
like
people to switch
cards.
online.
I don't like cards. I see cards, and if it's not like blackjack, then I just want to puke.
Listen, I know you have a problem with Yu-Gi-Oh, especially with me trying to teach you how to synchro summon, but that doesn't mean you should hate Pokemon trading card game.
I've tried. The thing is, I've tried Pokemon trading card game. Like I got the desktop app probably 10 years ago, and I learned the rules. I have since forgotten the rules, but I learned them for that, and I enjoyed it a little bit. But like, I don't want to play a fucking Game Boy Color version of the card game. That sounds like so unappealing. I will
Jason,
say the
like,
pixel
you should
art,
try it though. I legit think you would like it.
Yeah,
I like
it
the
is a
pixel
very
art.
very fun RPG for it.
I have
Yeah,
seen
It's very
the
well put
conversions.
together.
I've seen the conversions of like the real card and the pixel art version of the cards, and that is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
They do look nice, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's even a video about like the techniques that they used to get that to even work.
Putting
it
this
was- it, like,
above the
shouldn't have
actual
worked.
games to
Yeah,
me
they were
is
limited to
so
4 colors,
fucking...
and being able to adapt like TCG art from base set, jungle, and fossil
Whatever, just-
into 4 colors was impressive.
Put it in S, whatever. Fucking. ugh.
We can put it in A.
I can put
Jason,
it in
like,
A
for
if you
temporary
got-
A. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
disgusted that it's that high, but that's fine.
I think it is a better game than Red and Blue.
Well, noted. Disgust noted. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Pokemon
Pokemon
Puzzle
Puzzle
League.
League.
B.
B. This is
I love
Puzzle
Puzzle
League.
League.
This is Tetris Attack.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this game.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You think this is
Okay,
good?
okay. I'm gonna
He's
go
good.
ahead and just say this. This is my first time meeting Chaotic Meatball. I think that like, there's like, I feel like you have one standard deviation of putting things like one rank higher than I would put them when we like them
Yes,
equally.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like-
I think I agree with that. So
Yeah.
I think B tier. I mean, it literally just is Tetris Attack. It is a great puzzle game.
It's the
I don't
best
think you
version.
can really put a
My-
puzzle game above B unless you're exactly Tetris.
You know
My
what's so
good-
cool about this game is that I love the intro. Like it gives you like a full on video, which is crazy for the N64.
Right.
And that bass line, do 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 do.
Yeah, all the music is from the anime, so it's good.
Yeah,
It's so
no,
good.
I played through it on NSO a couple, I think like a year
Oh,
or
it
two
is on
ago for the
NSO.
first
I don't
time.
have the expansion pack. I just played on my N64.
Oh, that's
Damn.
funny. Yeah, no, I mean, I just like Tetris Attack. Therefore, of course, I was gonna like Pokemon Puzzle League, and I like all the anime stuff that they put in there. So yeah, I think B tier is appropriate.
My
Okay.
philosophy for ranking things on a tier list is I like to see a bell curve. I want C
Yeah.
to be
yeah,
the
like
biggest
that's
tier
the
at
thing. Like
end
we
of the
can
day.
adjust it and kind of force that curve later as it comes.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
So Gold and Silver. Am I wrong to say that these are horrid games for the mainline titles?
We agree?
Wait, you think so too?
I thought you were gonna fucking put this in S and we were gonna have a
No,
war.
this is like.
No, these
it's
are the worst
hard-
mainline
I
games,
think this
and
is
it's not
the
even
only
close.
mainline titles
Yeah.
that go in C tier.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 100%. The
You
only
guys, is this like a bit?
No,
no,
I
Johto,
dislike
okay.
Johto's design
The thing is,
overall.
yeah, the thing is with Gold and Silver is the best part about them is that they include the original region. It's
That's
like
cool.
the
It's a
best part
novelty,
about it
though.
is that it like yeah, it's and that's like a cool bonus thing, but like the main adventure itself through Johto is like the region's not very well designed. You gotta like jump around too much.
Yeah,
and it's
you gotta
not-
go left towards Olivine,
Yeah.
which is your 6th gym leader, but you have to go further left to Cianwood for your 5th
the
gym leader.
Pokemon
Why does
like
that make sense?
selections, like where they put shit makes no sense. Has been,
Why,
been noted.
yeah,
in
why
many
is
videos.
Houndour only available in Kanto out on Route 7 at night? Why is the Dark Fire type that's cool only available in the freaking post game?
This is insane to me. Like I feel like these complaints, like I would have never complained. Like I didn't complain about any of this shit. None of that mattered to me.
Man,
Yeah.
I complained about it when I was a kid. I picked up Heart Gold and Soul Silver at release when I was like 9 years old. And playing those, I was like, these don't feel as good as the previous games.
It's balanced so shittily too. It is some
Yeah.
of the worst. It probably has the worst balance of any Pokemon game.
Why are Janine's Pokemon in the mid-level 30s when Lance capped off at like a level 50 Dragonite?
Why are you fighting level 18 Hoot Hoots for half of the game?
I agree. Why are there like level 18 Rattatas inside of the radio tower before the
It's
8th
so-
gym while you're facing off against Team Rocket?
It's like they forgot to scale Team Rocket. Like every single Team Rocket grunt is like a level 20 Rattata, and that's it.
They are rough. I will definitely say these are like this is the lowest that the Pokemon series goes at like C tier with the mainline titles.
I like how this is definitely like Shredder's favorite gen too. So we're
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I am
dunking
so
on it.
sorry, Shredder. Can you give me a justification to put it any higher?
Oh yeah, I like it.
I think it's
cool.
really cool. You get 16 badges. That's really fun.
I agree.
I had a lot of fun with it. I played this
Oh
game
my
for the
God.
first time in like 2016.
It's so disappointing that the Kanto
Now,
gym
Chaotic
leaders.
Meatball, have you played the originals or have you only played the
Yes.
Soul Silver?
I have played the originals at least
Okay.
a dozen
I've all played the
times.
originals.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
started with Soul
disappointing. It's so disappointing that they didn't scale Kanto like at all. They're just like, oh no,
Kanto-
they're worse
yeah.
than the Elite Four for
Again,
some reason.
I have to iterate. Why are
Which-
Janine's Pokemon 15 levels lower than Lance, and you've already fought Lance?
It's like it makes sense from a world building perspective that the gym leaders wouldn't be as strong as the Elite Four, but like as a game, why? Like it's not like of course you're gonna win. You're 20 fucking levels higher than all of them.
Well, see, if you look at the anime, the justification is the gym leaders ask you how many badges
Yeah.
you have, and
Yeah.
they scale their team to your gym badges, which has been
thing is, in the
explored in fan
game-
games and whatnot, never in mainline stuff. But
Yeah, in the
I
games it's
see
never
that
really been
as
true.
like, why did they not do that for Kanto? I mean, not that I would expect them to scale levels based on what order you put the gyms in, but just like put them on
Alright.
like Lance's level, put them around level 50, 55.
We're pretty
like,
I think we're pretty dead set on C. Right?
Yeah, like I think Blue is the only trainer that has anything worthwhile in Kanto aside from Red, which jumps 20
Yeah.
levels for
Red's
some freaking
awesome.
reason.
Red is awesome.
Red's cool, but why is the
Yeah.
level jump so horrid?
No, that's good. I like that. If I were designing these games, all of his Pokemon would be level 100.
I agree with that. You know what? I'm okay with it being a super boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I wish they at least led you on somewhat.
The fact that like the first thing he throws out is a level 91 Pikachu is such a like what the
81.
fuck? Is it 80? Whatever the fuck
81
it is. It's such
in
a
Gold and Silver, and then
Yeah.
88 in Heart Gold.
it's
Silver.
like a ridiculously high number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Well,
so,
anyway,
yeah,
we
I
said
think this.
C.
Yes, C. Hey, you Pikachu.
Okay.
I think we already
Yeah.
know where this is going.
If nothing's an F, if that's not an F.
This is an F tier game. God, this
Yeah.
sucks. The game works. The microphone does not.
Yeah. Well,
Never tried
even
it.
if the game worked, it would still be an F tier. Is the
Yeah.
the tragedy?
I just.
All right.
Why did they make this? Why is the
What is-
microphone so terrible?
What is the next thing even? Like I don't even know what that
Pokemon
is.
Puzzle Challenge, the Game Boy Color version of Puzzle League.
Didn't know it existed.
Yeah, never heard of
It's-
this.
It's just Puzzle League on the go. Just because it's degraded in graphics, I think it just by principle goes below Puzzle League. Still fun, but
Okay.
not like
I'm
bad.
fine with that.
Yeah. Stadium 2 though.
Ooh. It is better than Stadium 1, but I don't know if
I
it's
agree.
better enough to put it a whole tier above.
Yeah, I think it is slightly better. I like the fact that they kept the mini games. I think Gym Leader Castle once again is good in that. It's just a
It's the
better
same
version
game.
of
They just
Stadium
added the
1.
new gen of Pokemon, which is it's always good to have more.
Yeah,
I
it's-
love this game.
It's
I'll
cool.
put it in the same. Can we just
Yeah.
put it
Yeah.
next to Stadium? Like it's basically the same thing.
I think it just it goes above Stadium.
Well,
Still in B
all
though.
right. I guess we're fucking sliding. Like, fucking to the left is better. All right. whatever.
I'm a sucker for it. I'm sorry.
All right.
Crystal though, it's
I would
the
put it
same
in-
thing.
Yeah, I would
It's the
just put
same
it the
thing.
same. Exactly.
The only thing
Like,
that makes it better is the fact that you don't have to hunt down Suicune. They just give it to you as the box legendary, so you can catch it in the bell tower. I hate
Yeah,
roamers.
we already
roamers
discussed Gen
can
2.
fucking die.
we can just slap it next to Gold
Yeah.
Silver.
Slightly better.
Okay, what
Cool.
the fuck is this shit?
Pokemon Trading Card Game 2. Here comes Team GR. This is the Japanese exclusive.
Yeah, never
there's
heard
a
of
second
this.
trading card game that added the Team Rocket set. It is better than the original, but only marginally. I think it literally goes in the same section. They add one new set, which is crazy because they were already up to Gen 2 in the actual TCG, whereas they left out like 4 sets. So
All right,
I
just
don't
put
know,
it next to same game.
I think that I would flip flop on the day. Like I still think the first TCG game is probably better.
I still ardently think ranking them in the tiers is stupid, but that's fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
All right.
All
The
right,
big
Ruby and
ones.
Sapphire.
Hell
This
yeah.
is the beginning of when Pokemon gets good.
Well, I mean, it was always
The
good.
beginning
These
was
games
the,
are pretty
the
good.
very first games released, but
Yeah, I mean, for me, Pokemon has been a bell curve. Like 1 and 2 started out, it's like, all right, it's okay, and then Gen 3, it's like, okay, it's starting to get better. Gen 4 kind of starts to balance out that bell curve, but then it finally goes up to the peak at Gen 5, and that's where I think like Gen 3 kind of
We'll
hovers
get there.
around. Like I wish we kept Gen 1 in B tier because I'd put Ruby and Sapphire in A tier because of it, but
You want to put them above the original? I don't want to put them above the originals.
I
think
genuinely
they are.
think the additions are better.
no, Gen 3 could probably go in S tier based on like my
What?
buddies who love Gen 3.
Not
Oh.
Ruby and Sapphire. I would say Emerald is the only
No, I
S-tier
don't want to
game out
split
of
up
them.
Emerald. Fuck.
Battle Frontier.
It's 98% the same game.
Battle
God
Frontier.
damn it. Okay, the Battle Frontier is cool, but that's like one thing at the end of the game.
Steven as a super boss.
Let's just put them in A.
I agree.
All right, yeah, let's put them
Yeah.
in
Get up
A.
there.
Fucking,
Though I think
hate
it's
the
funny. I
games
think
that
you like Gen 4 more than most people I know who appreciate Pokemon.
I think they are slow. They are as slow as a sloth taking a shit with molasses that they just ingested, but they're okay.
All right, next one.
Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. It's the
Never
same
played it.
game, just with new Pokemon.
Never played it. So I don't know.
It's perfectly fine. You got the Ruby table and you got the Sapphire table. It's the same game.
So you're saying C tier or D?
I think it just
D
yeah,
tier.
it's just
D.
D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this
I mean,
is
they
F.
even used the same logo. They just colored it blue.
I don't know.
Uh,
The next one's F, though.
yeah, Pokemon Channel. This game has no. It's better than
Yeah.
Hey You Pikachu. It has the intrinsic value of having the Pichu Bros shorts on the disc, but that's
I don't even know what
literally
this
it.
is.
They're like
It's for babies.
mini games. It's literally
set it
just
up
a
for
mini
Otto.
game collection.
Oh, for babies, what?
Yeah.
Okay, which games on this list so far are not?
Or no, oh yeah, Pokemon
It's
Conquest.
funny you guys complaining about the balancing in Gen 2, and it's just like I've never struggled in any Pokemon game I've played for even a fraction
we
of a
mean
second.
2 is
Play
way
Ultra
too
Sun
easy.
and Ultra Moon, and then come back to me when you were
We
like,
mean that-
Ultra
we mean
Necrozma
that-
wrecked my asshole.
We mean
You
Gen
guys
2 is
just
way
told
too
me those
easy.
games sucked.
They do suck.
The reason Gen 7 sucks is because there's a lot of not quite hand holding, but just so much dialogue that it takes up. Like, even in a speed run, like over the course of the 5.5 hours, an hour of it is just clicking through dialogue.
Yeah, Jason told me something similar. He said it was almost the most tutorialized entry in the series, which I haven't played it. I like Rowlet, but I haven't played it.
But no, you would get your butt kicked by Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon if you do not go.
It forces you into a lot of just like mashing through dialogue and walking through hallways and mashing through more dialogue and walking through hallways and then getting to play the game for 5 minutes and then being forced to like surf on a Mantine and then mashing through dialogue and then it's just like shit like that.
Hey, at least you get the Mantine surfing's okay. I think that's cute, but
no,
aside from that,
we'll sucks that they make you do it.
Gen 7. We're not
I
even
think
through
it's
Gen 3
cute.
yet.
I haven't played it, and if you have to do it, maybe that's annoying.
It sucks because they make you do it and it lasts like 5 minutes and it's excruciating. It sucks.
Maybe a little too long.
Yeah, it's a little too long.
All right, what's
Pokemon
the
Coliseum though? This is a great game.
Most overrated game in all of Pokemon.
Most annoying game?
Most overrated game in the entire Pokemon franchise.
How many games are on this list?
Too many.
I've literally probably played 5% of these games.
I think there's like
there's
60.
so many.
I do prefer Coliseum to XD, but it's also just walking down hallways and doing fights for the most part.
XD has cooler box art and I believe is worth more money.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Shadow Lugia thing, I think difficulty alone, XD is better than Coliseum, but both of them are like, they're cool. I really like these games. They have a soft spot in my heart, but I think they both go in like B tier.
B? No, the best part about these games are the vibes. It's really cool that in Coliseum you play as a grown-up that steals Pokemon from other people. That's just cool.
How old are you?
And he was an ex-member of like the evil team of the game.
They don't say, but he's probably like a late teen.
He's like 20.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like 20.
The game, okay, I'll sell you on this. The game begins with you blowing up the evil team's hideout and stealing a machine from them and then running off on your motorcycle, like riding
I would have
off
been
into the
sold
sunset.
if I was blowing up the good team.
Oh no, you're blowing up the Team Snag'em, which is the team of people who are stealing Pokemon from other people.
And then there's these two guys carrying around a woman in like a brown sack.
Yeah, they're carrying her around in a body bag.
There
You
was.
save her, and she
There's
has
a
the
girl in
ability
a
to
body
see shadow
bag like
Pokemon.
yelling out. Yeah,
and then you save all the shadow Pokemon.
it's
That's
cool.
it.
It's a cool
though.
premise, but then you actually play the game and it consists mainly of walking down hallways and doing fights.
My impression of this game, just from my buddies who liked Pokemon at the time, is like you bought this game because you wanted to play a Pokemon game on your console, but it wasn't like a real Pokemon, so it was just kind of like, it's okay.
It's cool.
Yeah, same.
It doesn't have the bad structure, but I think it's still an RPG worth its salt in its
I'm
own
not
right.
putting this above Gen 2. Like Gold, Silver, fuck that. It can't go above that.
Man, are you really? You won't put this over
Really?
Gen
It's
2?
not a good game. Like, it's not a well-designed game. The vibes are cool. The atmosphere is cool. The fact that it's just fucking fights for the most part. Like,
I guess I
turns me
value
off.
the difficulty of it more.
It is more difficult than like a standard like a mainline Pokemon game, but it doesn't make it a well-designed good game.
Yeah.
C is like as high as I can do, I think.
I guess
I'll
I
do
can
C.
probably go with that.
All right.
I still think
And
it
then we
goes
got to
here,
rank
though.
XD to full tier below because that game's worse.
What? Oh, come on. We'll
The
talk about
only
it.
good thing about Coliseum they took away. Now you play as some dorky little kid and you play hide and go seek with your sister. And that's
So
stupid.
why is this game worth so much money then?
Because it's a
because it's
Pokemon
cool.
game on the GameCube.
Look at that. Look at that Shadow Lugia.
Yeah, and the Shadow Lugia is cool.
Look at that.
It is
Look
cool.
at that.
Yeah. Because like if I'm judging a book by its cover, I look at this game and I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to play that.
Yeah, it just
Alright.
looks like a normal standard Pokemon game.
Okay. Well, I mean,
But-
anyway, Fire Red, Leaf Green.
Fire Red Leaf Green. These are like A tier. These are like top of A for me. Like,
If you could talk me into saying anything's better than the originals, it's probably these two, even though I don't think it's true.
Should
so
we put them in
I
S then?
think they improve upon the originals in many ways.
I would be
the
fine
running
with these
shoes,
in S
being able
tier.
to have faster movement that isn't as fast as the bike and is more controllable. B, the addition of natures and abilities for your Pokemon to make the battles more intricate. C,
Well, it's
the-
Gen 1 with Gen 3 mechanics, which is pretty
Right.
cool.
Yeah. S sounds
Um,
good. We should put some in S because A is getting too crowded anyway.
Nothing
They're in the
is
very top
S
of
tier
A.
yet.
Just bump them to S.
Nothing is S tier yet. We're not there.
I'm
Trust
not
me,
going to
we'll
put
get
Emerald
there.
Nest here. I'm not fucking doing it.
We're putting.
We're not
come
doing
on.
it. It's
I-
the same
I
game.
have to
Oh my
fight for
God.
Emerald and S, but I do
It's
think
the
these-
same fucking game. No. Oh my God.
There's so much. The post game of Ruby and Sapphire are barren as hell.
Okay.
The post
yeah,
game
I mean,
of Emerald, you get like you get so much.
I mean, yes, the Battle Frontier is cool, but like that's, I don't know, that's not enough for me.
The super boss against Steven in Meteor Falls.
I like don't even know what you're talking about. That's something
yeah,
I
no,
don't even know
He's
about.
basically Gen 3's Red in Emerald. He's
Okay.
deep within Meteor Falls, and you have to like go through the dungeon to. I guess there's like added areas that were in there in Emerald that aren't in Ruby and Sapphire.
Fucking.
Yeah, basically they make Meteor Falls into Mount Silver. It's cool.
All right, whatever. Fine.
But
Put it in
Pokemon
fucking
Dash,
S.
have you guys played
Fucking
this?
F tier. Put that
Yeah,
shit in F tier. Yes,
yeah.
I've played it.
F for
Shit
fuck you. This
sucks.
game sucks. You swipe your stylus around
Yeah.
to fucking move your Pokemon.
It's the
race.
goddamn snowball mini game from Mario 64 DS. Except
Yeah,
it's a whole
literally.
game. It fucking
It's
it
literally the
sucks.
whole game. It's so terrible. All right, so Pokemon Emerald can't.
All right, put it
I
in
will
fucking S. whatever.
negotiate with you of putting it this at top of A tier, but
No, because then like, what are we gonna put above it? I guess we need something in S tier. So put fucking Emerald.
Yeah, I thought you
Okay.
should have put Fire Red and Leaf Green in S tier.
admittedly, I think they're
You
close.
could put 3 games, put all 3 in.
Okay, I can at least go with you on that. I think
Okay.
they're like the best
Okay,
Johto
that's
experiences or
fine
best
for me.
Kanto experiences.
Fine for me.
Okay. XD,
Okay,
I think we
XD.
negotiated here that this is like C tier.
Well, you can put it in C if you want.
I think it's slightly better than Coliseum.
I think it is so much worse than Coliseum that I would probably put it 2 full tiers below it if it were just my list.
Difficulty-wise, I think they pulled the Legends Arceus thing before Legends Arceus happened, where they have Greevil fight you with 7 Pokemon.
I will say I had a lot of fun doing the battle scenarios with you. That
Oh
might,
yeah,
that
the battle
redeems it a little
CDs are
bit.
fun.
Okay.
Man, I wish you were there for the Battle Bingo. I think you would have dug the hell out of that.
I don't know what that is. What is battle
So
bingo?
you have 16 spaces, and for each one you get stamina for each of your Pokemon. You start out with 2, and you get 2 Master Balls to capture Pokemon on the board. And there's 2 spaces there. Well, there's 3 extra spaces. There's one for a 4th Master Ball. There's one to get 2 more like effort points or whatever the thing stands for, so that you can move again. And you just have to try to complete the board. And each Pokemon only has 1 attack, so you're just trying to do like type advantages and map out what each bingo is going to happen, so you can get more like movement points. It's neat.
The GameCube games are kind of due for a replay for me. I made videos on them like when I very first started my channel in like 2015, but they're long gone and they suck. So
Gotcha. I think they could use a port. They could use something, but Lord
All right.
knows we'll probably not get it. Pokemon Trozei though.
Torozei.
So this is another puzzle game.
You ever
Match 4
play it?
Pokemon heads to attack an enemy Pokemon. It is
I've never touched this game in my life, so I've
it
no
What's
is
this
idea.
game?
boring. Pokemon Trozei.
Haven't heard of it.
It's
remember the
basically a
commercial.
mobile game that was a few years ahead of its time because it was put out on DS at full price, and therefore it is bad.
I remember
Still
the
think it's
commercial.
better than
That's
Channel
it.
though.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, for the video
Ooh.
that Jason just did
Ooh.
on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue Rescue
Interesting.
Team.
Interesting.
These games
I
are
would
fun.
not. I would never rank them ahead of like the original Pokemon games.
I think they could stand to go to bottom of A tier. Like they started
wanna
out
put 'em all the
really
way in
strong with
A?
these. Actually, I will fight for Red Rescue Team being at top of B and
No,
Blue
we're not
Rescue
splitting
Team
the
being at
tiers.
bottom of
They're
A.
the exact same fucking game.
It's purely out of the controls.
The controls are a little better on DS, but that's not enough to split them up.
Okay.
It's the same game. The content of the game is the same.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think I would never want to play Red Rescue Team over Blue because of the controls, but I get it.
I think we could stick them in A if you want.
Okay.
Or maybe B and then the sequel's in A.
Yeah.
All right.
Pokemon Ranger. Have you guys ever played the Ranger games?
No.
Like
For
very
1
tiny
hour,
amount.
one time.
So you play as a Pokemon Ranger, which temporarily captures Pokemon with a capture styler. And
You gotta, like-
basically you do the circles. Yeah, you do the circles on the touch screen to be able to capture them. You use their ability in the field, and then they run off, and you get a nice little story with it. I think the first game is fine. I think it's like C tier. It's nothing special, but it is a fun spin-off.
Okay.
Now for Gen 4, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Guys have anything for me?
I feel like I'm vibing with a B, maybe.
I can vibe with a B. I think they're
As
slow.
long as you don't fight to put Platinum a tier above, I'm happy with B.
I'm not going to fight for Platinum to be a tier above, but I will fight
Okay.
for these being at bottom of B and Platinum at top of B.
Well, I mean, I don't care about ranking them in the tiers. So as long as they're all in B,
Okay.
I'm fine
That's
with that.
fine. I just think they're so slow. I cannot play these
They are
games
slow.
outside of anything but an emulator at like 4 times speed. They're so freaking slow. Have you ever seen the speed of which you surf in this game?
They are more difficult than like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, which is
I
cool.
agree with that. I think it's crazy how much of a jump you get from like Volkner to the Elite Four. It's like a 12 level jump.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. But if you go in with like the challenge of your team being at like level 50, it's like super rewarding to be able to figure that out. I like that.
I think my appreciation of this game has grown more over time because I used to kind of hate this region, but now I kind of dig it now.
All right.
The
I like
fact
the
that there's
rustic
like one
feeling of it.
super dungeon you kind of like cross paths with a few times and then you finally do it. And
Yeah.
then on the other side of it, there's like a whole other biome you've never seen before in Pokemon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the snowy area where you get to go
Yeah.
to Snow Point City. I think it's cool that they had that.
Real quick, something has come up, and I will have to leave a little bit earlier. So we need to go ahead and rank the games that I've played. There aren't.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, let's skip to Soul Silver and Heart Gold.
Okay.
All right.
I think that there's a chance that these should be bumped up to a tier above the original versions because there's so much to do.
I agree with that. I
So
think they
much
fixed a lot.
game.
They don't push it enough to fix it completely, but they do enough to where that these are still pretty decent quality titles overall.
They're also
So-
faster than Diamond and Pearl.
Oh yeah, well I mean Platinum is faster than Diamond and Pearl too, but yeah, no, I
Well,
think HCSS kind of rectifies it completely.
So like B tier.
Yeah, I could see these being above Diamond and Pearl for sure.
And so the next games that I have played are X and Y.
Okay.
This I'm curious about because like I know a lot of people don't like Gen 6. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
So I bought Gen 6 on day of release, October 12th, 2013. I just turned 13, used my, eShop gift card I got for my birthday for X, and I played it, and I was like, wow, these games blew compared to Gen 5. This was so boring.
Pretty much. I will say, within the last couple years, I tried to Nuzlocke one of them, and I think I enjoyed it more that time than I ever had.
Oh, for sure.
But like, it did feel like such a big step back going from. It felt like they played it safe. Like they made the jump to 3D because they were always 2D before, and now they're 3D.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just made like a by the numbers, like formulaic Pokemon game out of it.
Yeah, that's basically what they did.
Yeah.
I also
never
don't like
played
that the
Gen
Elite
5,
Four members
so I don't
have
really know. Like
Okay.
I didn't witness any of the downgrade. I did enjoy these games, but again, it's probably because I have very limited experience with the series at large.
It's not that
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy them. It's more just like it was disappointing coming after
I think they
what
were
we played
really
before.
pretty. Like the forest areas that you go through in the beginning, I think it's a really nice touch. You can see the shadows from the trees on the ground. It just
Well,
looks
this
good.
is also where they started the kind of formula, the regions, because they did the same thing as Gen 5, where there's like an obvious tutorial path, and then you get to like
Mhm.
where it looks like it would branch off if it were a more open game, but they kind of just make you go around a
Yeah.
circle. Yeah.
Mm.
I also have this like nagging feeling that the game was supposed to be much bigger than it was. Um, that this
think
is
so?
like clearly an unfinished game. If you look at the amount of like content that you have between gyms 1 and 2, you have
Yeah.
like 6 routes. You go from like level 12 of Vivillon against Viola to like level 25 Amora and Tyrant against Grant. And
There's
you
definitely
see,
a chance some stuff got cut for time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it feels like they only got to do like the first quarter of the game before they had to start rushing things, and which is so unfortunate. I think these games had so much more to offer, and that's why I'm looking forward to Legends ZA to hopefully rectify it.
All right. Yeah, that game, they showed a little bit of it today. It looks a little bit better than the initial release we were talking about. At least to me it did.
Yeah, I had no idea. I did not envision them doing anything with ZA during today's direct, just because they don't do Pokemon stuff in Nintendo Directs anymore.
Yeah, they usually save it for their own thing. I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
So I got jump scared by it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, wow, they're showing new stuff." But yeah, I think these go. I don't know where to put them,
C?
like B or C.
Probably
C.
C.
Yeah,
I could put them in C next to Gen 2. That sounds
Yeah.
fair to me.
I think they're better than Coliseum and XD. Like I could even put them at top of C, but I don't
And
know.
that does actually round out my entire experience. I did play Arceus, but I don't have too many thoughts on it. So,
Fair.
but yeah, I'll catch you guys later.
I've never played Pokemon Battle Revolution, so you're
You've
gonna have
never
to-
played Battle Revolution?
Never.
That's fair. I mean, I have very limited experience with it. I never got to transfer my Pokemon into it.
Ooh. Could we put this
So-
in the elusive haven't played tier then?
Well, I've played it with Rentalmons, and it is fun. I think my kid self really didn't get enough out of it, though, because I didn't know, like, the meta of what the best Rentalmons were.
Gotcha.
And I hesitate to put it in haven't played because I do have a substantial number of hours from when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, if you've played it a lot as a kid, that counts.
I think the art style of this game is freaking awesome for the Wii.
Is this an expensive game? Like, if I wanted to buy
I
it?
think it's like a $50 or $60 game.
Someday, like, I feel like I could... It's basically just Stadium, right?
Yeah, it's Gen 4 Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
it's
could
like
get
a
into.
60. Oh, you can get it for like 40. Oh, there's one for like 26.
I'm just looking at price charting. Price charting says it's only $20.
Yeah, I mean, Wii games tend to go cheaper.
Yeah.
They'll probably go up in price in a couple years, though.
Honestly, like, I might scoop this up.
You should
Huh.
give it a shot.
All right.
But I think this is just another Stadium game. I think it goes in the same bundle as Stadium and Stadium 2.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah. All right, Explorers
Okay.
of Time and Darkness.
Haven't played them since they came out, but I remember really liking them.
I like these more than the originals. I got Darkness when I got my first DS back in 2008, and this is one of my favorite spin-offs of all time.
I remember they accidentally gave me the pre-order special edition of the game that came in like a bigger box and came with a strategy guide and everything, even though I
shoot.
didn't pre-order the game. They just gave it to me because that's what they had on hand, I guess. I got it at
That's sick.
Walmart. Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
really
I think-
exciting.
I think these games are definitely A tier. I kind of want to bundle Explorers of Sky together with it.
It's the exact same game.
The special episodes with the additional stories for like Wigglytuff and Bidoof
Yeah.
and Grovyle and Dust Noir and Celebi and all of them, I think those are enough to push it towards S tier because of the storytelling in those
We're
episodes.
not splitting these up.
Fine.
Hell no.
I'll put these at bottom of A, but I'm putting Explorers of Sky at top of A.
I told you I don't care where we rank them in the tiers.
Oh, I
It's
know.
all the
That's
same
I'm
to
just
me.
doing this for the sake of my sanity.
No, but I remember when Explorers of Sky came out, it reviewed really poorly because they're like, wait, this is just the same game again. Why would they release this?
Wow, it's
Like,
almost
didn't-
like they already did that with Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, Platinum.
Didn't
and they're
IGN
trying it
give
with
this
the
like a
spin-offs.
4 or something? They gave it like a ridiculously low score.
That's so insane.
Let me look that. Let me like IGN. What's this game called? Explorers
Pokemon
of
Mystery
Sky?
Dungeon Explorers of Sky.
Explorers of Sky. What was the number they gave it? They gave it a 4.9 out of 10.
That's probably recency bias, I would say. Upon
Well, I mean, this
reflection,
is-
they are better as
Yeah.
the third version. Or
Well,
it
that's
is
what I'm
better at-
saying. Is like when you're revisiting these games, it makes more sense. But like at the time when they came out, they're like, "What the fuck is this bullshit? It's the same game."
Did they do the same thing for stuff like Platinum, like Emerald?
I
et
think
cetera?
they did. Like Emerald was pretty infamously. It was like they gave it like a 7 or something.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, well, this is just like an update, which I agree with. Like if I'm a fucking journalist reviewing a game, I'd probably say the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm like, I like to look at things from like the most meticulous details that I can, so that somebody can get the full scope of whether or not a game is worth playing. But
I think if a
That's just
game
me.
is 90% the same, it should just be in the same tier, which this is.
yeah, I guess.
Okay, next Ranger game.
Yep. Shadows of Almia is probably the Ranger game I have the least experience with, but at the same time, it was mostly because I didn't have as much interest in it as I did the original. I just don't think it was as good.
I never played any, like, I remember reading about Ranger and Nintendo Power, and, like, one of my friends got into it. But I just
It's-
always thought it looked like a lame spin-off idea, and I never wanted to try it. So I never
It's
did.
fine. It's just it doesn't do enough different. The story isn't as good.
Hmm.
It's
Well, where did we
meh.
put the original? We could put it a tier below.
Yeah, we put it in C. I put this in
You
D.
gonna put it in D? Alright, sure.
Platinum.
Just put it in the same as Gen 4. As I said, I think I'm in favor of just lumping them all in the same tier.
Okay.
If they're the same gen.
I just like the fact that they go faster, and once again, the Battle Frontier is
Well,
enough of an addition to me.
It is an improvement. It's just like, at its core, it's like 90% the same game. So it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the Distortion World stuff. This was one of the first
think
games
it's
I
kinda lame.
followed when I started learning of like gaming news online.
Yeah.
I watching like the Japanese trailers of it. I was like, "Oh, dude, you go up the waterfall."
You know-
while you're in the Distortion World. And
What
it's
I'm
just
going
like,
to say
oh.
about the Distortion World is I don't hate it in this game, but I think it's a harbinger of like how shitty Pokemon would get, just making you do like forced bullcrap you don't care about.
I mean, I like puzzle solving dungeons and other RPGs, but yeah, when it's just strength puzzles, it's kind of boring.
It takes place in like this weird like purple void too, which is just kind of, I don't know, off-putting. It's just like here you are in like a random space and you got to push boulders around. It's not. I don't think it's that
Yeah.
engaging, but they would
I
get a
like
lot
the
worse, is what I'm saying, because it's like an area made up of just like a story contrivance, which
Yeah, I mean,
they would do a
when-
lot more of later.
Right. I don't even really think it's a story contrivance. It's more of a Garatina contrivance. Like,
Yeah,
they already put
exactly.
Garatina in Diamond and Pearl in the post game. You didn't really
Yeah.
get much about him, but you got like the Pokedex entry of it being the Renegade Pokemon. So you
I
got
will
the
say-
Inklings.
I've never actually played regular Platinum. I've only played like a hack that made it harder.
Oh, did you play Renegade Platinum?
I don't know what it's called, but like it was just a version of the game that was harder.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's like the most famous version of that.
And I
It's
did
really,
have fun
really good
with it.
hack.
I did have
Yeah.
fun with that though. So
Yeah. So yeah, I think B tier is definitely fair for Platinum. Good
what
game.
the hell are these next games?
These are the WiiWare exclusive Pokemon Mystery Dungeons: Blazing, Stormy, and
Oh.
Light Adventure Squad.
I don't want them to take up a spot on the tier list. Screw that.
It's fair. The English patches for these games only came out in like 2022, so I understand if people have not played these, especially because you can't buy them legally anymore.
You only
But,
put these on here to say that you played them.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And they are completely fine Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, but you can play pretty much anything else except for Gates to Infinity and pretty much get a better experience. I think they go in C tier because of that.
Fair. I mean, I've never touched them, so. Why'd you put a haven't played tier if you didn't include any games you haven't played?
Mostly because I thought that you and Shredder were gonna want to put something in haven't played, and I was not gonna argue with it. I don't know.
To be fair, I would put these 3 in haven't played, because like who the fuck, like they're not even real. But whatever. That's fine.
They
You
are
can put 'em in C.
technically not even real anymore. That is true.
What is I can't tell what the next one is.
Pokemon Rumble.
Oh, I've never played that either.
Really? Okay, so this is like the WiiWare exclusive like roam around and beat Pokemon Up game as a toy Pokemon. You get like 2
right.
attacks.
It was the fucking. I remember this, but yeah, I've never touched it.
I liked this game. It was a fun, mindless thing that you could do for like an hour as a kid. You get through
Okay.
some of the stages. You recruit Pokemon of a certain power level. If you get the high enough power level, you can enter the Battle Royale and keep ascending up to S rank. But they only had Pokemon from Gens 1 and 4. They did not have anything else. No
Well,
2,
we haven't
no
even
3.
gotten to Gen 5 yet, so that makes sense.
Well, they didn't have 2 or 3 in there, despite having 1 and
Oh.
4.
Oh, I get what you're saying. It was just 1 and 4. That is a little bizarre.
Yeah, so like the first 4 sets of ranks that you do had only Gen 1 Pokemon, and then once you got to the second set of 4 ranks, you had that's when they do the Gen 4 Pokemon.
Okay.
So
Well, wherever you
but
see
it's
fit.
completely serviceable. Most people don't like this game. I have a soft spot because of nostalgia, but I can definitely say that it is so mindless that it probably goes in D tier.
Sure. I can't
Next
tell
one,
what the next
Pokemon
game
Ranger
is either.
Guardian Signs.
They made a third one of these fucking things?
This is the best Ranger game by
Okay.
far.
I mean, if you say so.
The only thing that people don't like about it is that you have to like draw symbols to summon different legendary Pokemon,
Sounds
and because of that, they got reminded of like the symbols that you had to draw in the DS Castlevania games after you beat a boss, and they didn't like it. I did not have that baggage because I did not play. I think it was Portrait of Ruin that made you do that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I don't remember the only one that I ever played was Order of Ecclesia, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, I never touched the DS ones. Of course, I played through Symphony of the Night, and I've also played through Aria of Sorrow, and I've touched the other Game Boy Advance ones, but the DS ones just eluded me. Never tried them.
Yeah. Well, I will say, pick up the Dominus collection if it goes on sale at some point. Order of Ecclesia is a game that you should try out. That is one of my favorite
Nah,
Castlevania
I'm not-
games.
I think I've just realized I'm not one for Metroidvanias, honestly.
Yeah, I think, because you said that you've only really enjoyed both Symphony of the
Yeah.
Night and Metroid,
Super
or
Metroid,
Super Metroid,
like,
right?
Those are the only, Even like
Yeah.
Aria of
Like
Sorrow,
Hollow Knight didn't even do it for you?
I kind of. I mean, I didn't try Hollow Knight for that long, but like I played probably like 3 hours, and I just didn't grab me at all.
Damn. Yeah, you might just not like the genre except for those 2 games because they're such standouts.
Pretty much.
But I get it.
Like Aria
But
of
yeah, I
Sorrow,
think
I
this is-
finished, but I felt like nothing. I was like that just felt like worse Symphony of the Night to me.
That's fair. I think, but for Guardian Signs, I think this is what the peak of the series was. I'm happy that they stopped doing them after the 3rd one, and I think it goes in B tier because of it.
Wherever you want to put it. Don't know nothing about it.
Okay. Poke Park Wii, Pikachu's Adventure.
All right, so I do kind of have a story with this one.
Okay.
Before I made my Goodwill video, I went to a Goodwill and I found the fucking motherload. I found like 10 Wii and Wii U games just like in a stack, and this was one of them.
Really?
But yet
Man, I
I've
wish
never,
you got that for that video.
Yeah, it was before I was filming. That was like kind of like what made me want to do the video. That happened before I was filming, and it would have been a better find than anything I found in the video too, which is kind of sad, but oh well.
Yeah.
Despite that, I never played it. I still own it. Like I just never put it in, never tried it out. Don't know much about it.
It's a fun little romp, like 3 hours or so of just like doing mini games with different Pokemon that you're helping out throughout like the world.
Shout out
And
to
you're just
Rock.
making friends.
I know Rock loves this game. That's all I know about it.
Yeah. I think it's cute. I think it's perfectly serviceable. It's a fun little Wii game. I think it goes in C tier because of it.
That's fine.
It's not bad. It's not like fantastic, but it does the job for being a spin-off. I like this game.
All right. Here it is. Black and
Gen
white. Yeah.
5.
Gen 5.
Peak.
These are some
Pokemon.
great games. When did you get these right when they came out?
I got these on Japanese release at 9 years
so
old.
like months before. Hell
I
yeah.
got these September 2010.
That's cool.
They came out September 10th, 2010, and they got overnight shipped, and I got them on 9/11.
Nice. Wait, you actually like got them? It wasn't even.
Yeah, I
just,
got
like,
I got Pokemon Black.
Okay.
And I played through it, and it taught me some Japanese characters. Oddly enough, I played it in katakana, and I had a ton of fun learning like the Japanese names for Pokemon. Like Snivy was Tsutaja, Woobat and Swoobat were Koromori and Kakoromori, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm learning all these names, and it's cool. I really had like these are the ones that I have so much of a bond to because of that. Like I learned the game in and out because of not playing it in English. I could absorb it just through the visuals alone. And the animated battle sprites, the animations for the attacks, just the menus, they all looked fantastic. The story, once I played the English version of White, because I got the Japanese Black and the English White so I could trade with myself for the version exclusives. Love these games. These are S tier. This is the peak of Pokemon.
I think, yeah, I wouldn't fight you on S tier. I will say, this game made me feel really cool because it leaked online like a week or two before it came out, and I downloaded it and I put it on my R4 card, and that's how I played it. So I finished the games before they even came out, and it made me feel
Did you have the experience of the EXP not going up, or did that only happen on emulators at the time?
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, so that must
Yeah,
have just been, like,
I
an
remember
emulator
this
thing.
because these games leaked that early, but if you
Yeah.
played it on like emulators, you wouldn't gain EXP whenever
I
you
never
KO'd a
did
Pokemon.
emulators. I did R4 card.
Yeah, so I think you bypassed it by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't run into that problem. I just remember I beat the game before they even came out, and then once they came out, my friends had me do like the starter trade. Like I'd trade them all the fucking shit.
Oh, gotcha.
So that was cool. I remember bringing home a couple friends' DSs and like getting them all 3 starters, and then which was annoying because you had to play up until the first gym fight in order to trade. You
Yeah.
can't trade until and that takes
I
about
mean,
an
it was
hour.
easy enough to speedrun if you just soloed with your starter, grab the monkey. That was super
Yeah.
effective against the Striaton City Gym, and then
Exactly.
just did that and then trade him. But yeah,
These
no,
are
I
some-
definitely think these are just
in terms of quality of life improvements going from Gen 4 to these, they're incredible. It was an inspired choice to not have any old Pokemon at all. It's like all just Gen 5 for Black and White.
It was a soft reboot for the franchise, which I know so many people gave this
Crazy.
game crap for on release.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. This was the catalyst, I think, for Pokemon Company relegating their like the development of the Pokemon games, like Game Freak relegating development of Pokemon games to their secondary team, and then putting their primary team on the Gear project so that they can make stuff like Little Town Hero or
What the fuck are
Harmonite.
you talking? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this was an initiative called the Gear Project that.
Well, I know about Little Town Hero and the Tempo Elephant game, but like I don't know. That had to have been the second team. Like I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, Pokemon was the secondary development team.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were trying to find a new franchise that would be as big as Pokemon, which is
Wow.
funny because I think they did this because of the fan backlash of Gen 5.
Huh.
And it's so much of a shame because you don't know what you have until it's gone. And we were suffering through Gen 6 through 8 of just being crappy game after admittedly okay game with too much dialogue, after crappy game that visually looked
Well,
terrible,
we'll get
that
there,
we
we'll
made
get
fun
there.
of trees.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that a Pokemon Dash sequel?
This is Pokemon Rumble Blast. This is the second
okay.
Rumble game.
So they
for the
do it. It
3DS.
looks like Dash. It's really small on my screen.
Well, Blast Dash close
Oh yeah,
enough.
it does say Blast. Now that you mention it, okay.
So this is the Pokemon Rumble game I spent the most time on. I think I beat it 4 or 5 times as a kid.
This is even worse. They made a sequel to
No,
the
this
fucking
one
Rumble
is
game?
this is the peak of Rumble.
No, I mean I don't know shit about Rumble. I'm just saying, why the fuck they make a sequel to that bullshit? Why?
I
Ugh.
don't know, but I'm happy they did because this spin-off is really fun.
All right.
This
You
is
say
like the
so.
peak of Rumble. I have so much nostalgia for it, but I know that blinds me. It is not.
I was gonna say,
a
I
deep
hate
game.
that I haven't played this because I know I would be shitting all over Rumble if I had.
God,
This would be, like,
I would
these
love
be
if you
F-
did a video on
these-
all of the Rumble games.
These would be F tier contenders for me, I guarantee it. But I've just
I
never
feel
played
like
them, so
you
I
would
gotta
just get
hands off.
so bored by everything but Blast.
All right.
But Blast, I think this is like the peak of Rumble, and even then, I can't see it going above B tier. There's no way it can.
We're into the era where I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore because I don't know what this
Really?
next one is either. What is this?
Oh, this is Poke Park 2.
Is that a DS game?
No, that was the sequel to the Wii game on the Wii.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, so they did this one for Gen 5 because the last one was just for Gens 1 through 4. And this one was fun. I think it was
Okay.
slightly better than the original. It was basically the same sort of content. You just did mini games with the different Pokemon you were helping out until you got to the end.
This is where our like 4-year age difference shows because I was like too old to care about fucking Poke Park. I think at this stage.
Yeah, I was like 11 or 12
Yeah,
when
so
this
I would have
came
been
out.
like I would have been like 15 or 16. So like I wasn't playing my Wii anymore. I definitely wasn't playing like the baby Pokemon games.
Man, I was still playing everything even at that age. I was just a nerd.
Well,
I've been a nerd since I've been 3 years old, man. I've been playing video games since then.
all right. Well, where do you want to put it?
I think this goes like it's interchangeable with the first game. Like it's pretty much on par. It's
All right,
slightly better.
just put it next to the first.
So I like it though. I think they're cute games. They could stand a revisit. I wouldn't mind playing through them again just
I
so I
hate
could
that
get
you're
a
gonna
little
put
bit more
this
of a
next one in either A or S because I guarantee it doesn't deserve it. But whatever, put it in one of them.
peak spin-off,
That's
peak
fucking
of the
stupid.
franchise in general in terms of spin-offs. I'd say that I like this slightly less than Black and White, but this it's just Fire Emblem. It's just Final Fantasy Tactics. It's just Tactics Ogre, but for Pokemon. And for somebody that had never played a tactical RPG before Conquest, this was my gateway drug, and it was such a good one that I kept wanting to inject it into my veins.
I've told you the story off camera, but I'll tell it for the fucking 10 people watching, I guess. Pokemon Conquest, I was looking forward to before it came out. It looked interesting. It looked cool. I liked that. I didn't know what Nobunaga's ambition was, but I thought the idea of it, a Pokemon tactical game, looked cool. Then it came out, and it would not work on my R4 card, so I didn't play it then. The game never got cheap after that, so I never bought it, like, when I got money. This was, like, right before I had money, like a year or
Right.
two before. So, like, I wasn't quite old enough to be able to afford it, couldn't pirate it, so I just never played it. So
I completely understand. Most of my money at the time would only go towards Pokemon games.
sure.
So I would just save for these and get other games as like gifts.
Yeah.
So when I
Slip
heard
past
that
me.
this was coming, I was like, "Oh, another Pokemon spinoff," and I just bought it immediately on principle alone.
So I didn't actually own Black or White until many years later. Now I own Black, not White, just Black. But Black
Gotcha.
2, for some reason, I actually owned. I think I got it as a gift or something because I wouldn't have bought it myself.
That's fair. No, Black 2 and White 2,
Yeah.
they are also peak for me in terms of like the battle system and all of the content within it.
My
Whereas Black and
feelings-
White 1 are like story peak.
My feelings have changed over the years. When these first came out, I was very disappointed because I thought this was finally going to be the Pokemon game that was like an actual sequel to what happened in the first one.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna, like, you're the same protagonist, now you're the champion, and now you're gonna do cool champion things. That's like why I thought that was the whole point of having a 2, at the end of the title. So the fact that you're just playing as like another kid and you're going through and getting the badges and becoming the champion again was very disappointing to me when these came out. But
Yeah, they feel unfinished.
well, I don't know if I'd say. I'm just saying, like, going back, I think Black and White 2 might be, like, as a pure Pokemon experience, they might be the best in the whole series.
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
just think that they're unfinished from a story perspective.
I don't
Like you get
I
to
mean,
see
whatever.
the development of Charon becoming a gym leader, of Bianca becoming an official like Pokemon professor style character in place of Professor Juniper.
This has my
Where
favorite.
was the protagonist of the last game?
This has my, like, by far my favorite. I don't know who the fuck. That is a mystery, right? Like, what happened to the protagonist of the last game? He's fucking dead. Whatever. Who cares?
They had memory links where if you connected your Black and White to your Black and White 2, you could view cutscenes of like characters in the interim, and like nobody knows where the protagonist is, and they feel like remnants of a Red-esque super boss that you should have
Yeah,
been able to
that
fight
never
somewhere.
happens.
A-
But they
and
give
the
They give
Sorry,
you
go ahead.
something cooler though, because out of like Battle Tower, Battle Frontier, all this other bullshit, Black 2, White 2 is my favorite iteration of that with the tournaments, with the past gym leaders and Elite Four and stuff.
yeah,
Awesome.
they give you like a
Infinitely
vanilla
replayable.
version. They give you a vanilla version with the Black Tower or White Tree Hollow, but depending on what
It's
you
kind of
do.
lame. It's kind of lame
Yeah.
in Black and White. But in this, it's like a full-on like tournament.
Yeah,
Which, like,
compared
why
to the
is-
Pokemon World Tournament.
Why
Banger.
do Pokemon games never have actual tournaments? They brought it back in Sword and Shield, which I love, and they have them in this game. And that's it.
Yeah.
The rest of them, it's always like this weird, like you get the badges and then you fight one by one. Like, I mean, that's in this too, but like then there's an actual tournament, which makes sense.
Yeah, and you get remixes of all the gym
Yeah.
battle themes and champion themes from the previous 4 generations, and they're all
It's
bangers.
just so good. It's such a good bonus to add to the end of the game.
Yeah.
These
It's-
are S tier, obviously.
These are S tier. I think these go. Yeah, these are peak.
If you asked me when I was like 15 or 16, whenever these came out, I probably would have put them in like C because I was really disappointed. But these days, yeah, they're great to go back to.
I also bought I bought these in Japanese too. I bought Black 2 in Japanese. They came out only 4 months ahead, but I got it in June of 2012. So I got to
Still
play it
cool.
over my summer break rather than waiting until October
Still
for
cool.
the English release.
When these came out, I was at a point where I don't think I knew a single other person like in real life who cared about Pokemon. Nobody
Same here.
cared. Yeah.
I didn't care what other people thought. I just
Okay.
wanted to have my own fun. And
I
did.
remember, I went through a phase of a couple years where I was out of Pokemon. Like when Diamond and Pearl came out, I think I was in 5th grade. I might have been in 6th. But I went through like most of middle school not really liking Pokemon. Like I kind of enjoyed it, but I kept it at like arm's length. And then I got to
Right.
high school, and as a freshman, I made friends with a senior just because he was sitting there playing Pokemon. I'm like, oh, what's that, Pokemon? And then we would hang out every day at lunch and just play Pokemon. So he got me back into Pokemon. Like, he made me think that it was cool again. But he was the only person in all of high school I ever knew that cared about Pokemon aside from myself. So I went through the rest of high school not knowing anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I basically had the same experience with Pokemon. I just never knew anybody that played these games.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very rednecky area of Florida where just video games were not common in general,
Sure.
until like high school, and they all of them were like complete nerds and not exactly people I enjoyed spending time with. So I felt like they were too weird for me. Like, I felt like I was at least relatively normal in comparison to them, and I was just like, okay, they're too fanatical about this
If you
stuff.
can't spot the weird person in the room, you're the weird person.
Yeah, I agree with that. So,
What's the next game? I don't know what that is either.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity.
Oh, I've never even touched this one.
This one is the most boring of all of the Mystery Dungeon games. This
I'll
is
bet.
where this series falls off big time.
Yeah.
Like, it legitimately has
Do you
the
want
same...
a D or F?
This is like D. This is
Okay.
worse than the WiiWare titles.
Okay.
By the way, I just need you to real quick go on YouTube, look up the Kyurem battle theme from this game, and tell me what the song sounds like.
Kieran Battle. What's the name of the actual name of the game?
Gates to Infinity.
Gates to. Okay, maybe I got to type it into YouTube because Google did not give me. What I
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Google did not give me what I want.
If you don't get it, I will tell you. But I feel like once you
Kieran,
hear the
fucking
the
Pokemon-
note
okay, that makes more
progression...
sense. I thought you said Kieran, like
Oh, no,
a person
Kyurem,
name. No,
like,
okay, the Kieran, that makes sense.
Yeah,
all right.
the box legendary for
Alright,
Black
it's-
2,
it's
White
fine,
2
it's
with
fine.
fused. There it is. It's Duel of the
Yeah, it
Fates.
sounds like fucking Star Wars. Yeah.
It's the same note progression. Even you picked it up. That's crazy.
That's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
When I heard that for the first time, I laughed my freaking ass off because I'm like, there's no way this is the same freaking 7-note. Do 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 do.
it is.
do, do.
It like actually is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So
Have you ever heard the Game Boy Advance versions of like the Star Wars music from the prequels?
dude? No,
It's so shitty.
That's crazy.
Like,
I
there's
played
a
Lego
Duel
Star
of
Wars on the
Fates.
GBA.
No,
I
not
never
Lego.
played any
Just
of the
from
other ones.
not Lego. Just like from the actual Star Wars games for the GBA.
I
There's
know
like a
that there were
really
a few.
shitty compressed version of Duel of Fates.
Yeah,
It's so
I never
funny.
played them though. I wish I did now.
I never
because
played them
I bet
either,
you
but
that
I
would have
know
been
the music.
hilarious.
I know the music because it's so dumpy.
Ugh.
All right,
All
what's
right,
the next game?
Pokemon Rumble U. This is the worst Rumble game
If you say
because
so.
every single level just takes place in one arena.
Okay.
It is
F. I
F.
don't know.
This
Okay.
is horrid. and it was $18 on the Wii U eShop, and you had to go to GameStop to buy the little NFC figures where you get them from blind bags, and you didn't know what you were getting.
This was pre-Amiibo, like just before Amiibo.
This was
right?
pre-Amiibo.
Yeah, this was them trying it out. I remember seeing this in like directs and stuff.
They look nice. I do like the little figures, but that's all they're good
What's
for.
this
is looking
Pokemon
nice.
Battle Trozo? What is this?
Troze. This is the
Oh, they
sequel
made
to
another?
the F tier DS game.
They
Yeah.
made another Troze? Ugh, what is this for?
So this was just a $7 downloadable game on the 3DS eShop, and because of
Okay.
that, it has so much more intrinsic value because
You want to put
it's
it in
just
D,
a mobile
then?
game.
You want to put it in D?
I think this goes in D.
Okay.
This is fine. I left out Pokemon Shuffle, which is like the third version,
Oh,
the third
yeah.
game in this series.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same game,
Okay.
but I left it out because it was also a mobile release.
Let's move on because I'm actually interested to hear what you have to say about these.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. What do you think?
These are better than Ruby and Sapphire, but not better than Emerald. These are like smack dab in
Interesting.
the middle for me.
I know a lot of people who hate these.
I love these games.
I am not one of them, but
What?
I know a lot of people who hate these.
Okay. I'm glad that you're one of them that at least likes it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same. I think it's the same shit. It's like it's Gen 3 with Gen 6 mechanics. That's
Yeah.
fine by me.
But
I
at the
think that's
same
cool.
time, after you catch either Groudon or Kyogre, you can start going to Mirage spots and capturing Pokemon from Gens 4 through 6, and you get to use those in your league battle.
This has the best egg hatching spot of all time in Pokemon history, probably.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? That island where you
Yeah,
just,
that
like,
just
hold.
rotates the
Yeah.
camera for you, and you
If you
just
yeah.
wedge a freaking coin underneath the 3DS circle pad.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, you can just use the D-pad, right? Just D-pad the whole fucking. Thing, I think.
Yeah, you could use the D-pad too. Yeah.
You just gotta hold down one direction, and you will continuously walk, which is like what we've always wanted to hatch eggs.
Yeah, and it's funny that it's in Hoenn again because the best egg hatching space in any game prior was Emerald with that stretch between the Route 118 to the right of Mauville City all the way to Verdanturf Town. You just go back and forth on this one strip that would connect all of the areas.
Yeah, I think I know where you're talking about too. I thought it was like the Shaman area in Gen 4. I thought that was a pretty good one. That's a big stretch of land.
Yeah, if you have Oak's Letter, yes.
Yeah.
If you could access the area, but
So what tier?
I
is it?
think
Just
that-
A tier for this because it's.
I think this is
similar
like
enough?
top of A tier for me.
Okay.
I love these games.
They're
I
pretty
will go
good.
back to them at any point, and I
I
also
will s-
love the little stories that you get for individual Pokemon. Like Spiritomb even has like this weird story on the abandoned ship, the SS
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Aqua. I don't remember what the name of it was.
We
but,
didn't even talk about Mega Evolutions in X and Y, but
Oh,
they
yeah,
added more
yeah.
of them into this one.
Yeah, I think this is where the peak of Mega Evolutions really took place.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
of
think they were
course-
used enough in X and Y.
Of course, there's Mega Rayquaza, which has the distinction of being banned from Ubers, which is crazy.
Yeah, base what 780 base stats. I think
it's
base stat total?
180 attack. I think
Yeah.
it's 180 attack, 150 speed, and you don't need to use an item. It can hold an item. It's one of
Yeah.
the only megas you can actually give an item and like have it keep it.
Very stupid. Like why?
And,
There's
and
no
it has a
Dragon
signature
Ascent.
move that is just fucking. It's 120 base power, 100. Flying move that's 120 base power, 100 accuracy. Lowers your defenses, but who cares?
Yeah, Dragon Ascent is just flying close combat, and it's a
Yeah.
crazy move.
It's ridiculous move.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and
I
it gets its
understand.
stream, like Rayquaza was already a fucking busted Pokemon anyway. It gets its stream speed, gets Swords Dance, it gets Dragon. You could just fucking give it everything.
Yeah, all you need is Dragon Claw,
Yeah.
Dragon Ascent, and Extreme Speed, and you're pretty much
There you
golden.
go. Yeah, you're fucking yeah. All right, what's this? This is the fighting game next.
This is Pokken Tournament. This is the Tekken-esque 3D fighting game that Pokemon did, and it's
Well,
good.
I
I like
played
this
this exactly one time, and I have no opinion.
I really like this game. I love fighting games. I am a sucker for King of Fighters, Street Fighter, Tekken, Dead or Alive, any fighting game on the planet I will play.
I'm
And
feeling a
Pokken
C.
Tournament-
I'm feeling a C.
Oh man. Okay. I will negotiate if you say C for this, but for the re-release on Switch it goes to B for the added roster.
All right,
Okay.
okay. Only just because I'm comparing it to the other games. Like, I wouldn't want to put it above, like, I don't know, Gold, Silver. It's like, it's a fucking fighting game. Fuck that.
That's fair. But it is one of the very few Pokemon games that has an arcade cabinet for it, too.
Oh,
there is an
interesting.
arcade release for Pokken Tournament.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Super Mystery Dungeon. How we feeling?
I 100%ed this game. It took
Yeah?
about 65 hours. I recruited
Oh.
every Pokemon.
Ew. Okay.
It is
I didn't do that.
perfectly fine. I think as a culmination of the series, because you get characters from all three of the previous games, from Red Blue, from Time Darkness, and from Gates to Infinity, you get to like resolve the story. Well, not resolve the story, but you get to re-interact with those characters like Grovyle and the Shiny Celebi from Time and Darkness, and a couple of other characters. So it's cool for like the nostalgia's sake, but
My big problem with this game is the same problem I have with XD Gale of Darkness going from Coliseum. The story feels like it's a lot lower stakes in this game than it did in the first two Mystery Dungeon games. It
yeah.
feels like you are a child baby and everybody's talking down to you the whole game, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I think it's better than the WiiWare games, but it's not better than like it's not better
Okay.
than anything else. Like this, it barely edges them out.
Yeah,
that's
that's
like a full
that's fair.
experience.
What the hell is this next thing? The logo
Pokemon
cut off.
Picross for the 3DS.
Oh, they made a Pokemon Picross game, huh?
Fun fact:
Didn't
I
know
used
that.
to have world records speedrunning this game.
Huh.
I would
okay.
speedrun different worlds, and I would just be able to do the patterns like super quickly.
I mean, Picross is kind of fun, but like, I don't know. I'm not gonna rank it that high.
I mean, yeah, it's Picross. It's just middle of the
Sure.
road. It's not really Pokemon. It's just Pokemon skinned onto Picross.
You just like took everything. I don't know what it is. What's the next thing? What the fuck
Pokemon
is
Rumble
that?
World. This is the first
They made
Pokemon Rumble with
another?
microtransactions.
They made another.
Yes, they
fucking
put
Rumble game?
microtransactions in this ass game.
Ew.
It's even worse.
All right.
They did do a retail release for $30 that took out the microtransactions, but
Okay.
it's still really bad.
Sun and Moon.
Finally, Gen 7.
Decent game. Way too on rails. Too much dialogue. Too handholdy. All that.
I agree. I think they are better than X and Y, but I wouldn't put it very high above them.
Yeah, I'm
They are
comfortable
too
putting them right next
handholdy.
to. Yeah.
There is too much dialogue. I like the story, but they could have conveyed it in less time.
Sure.
Whereas Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon basically strip out most of the interesting story beats, but they make the game more difficult as a result. And
Do
for
they?
the
I don't-
difficulty alone,
The thing
I
is, you
love this
say the
game.
games are more difficult. I don't remember them being more difficult.
the trial captains are harder. The totem Pokemon are more difficult because of the different choices. Ultra
just remember
Necrozma is a
being-
Nuzlocke killer if you don't have exactly Zorwark.
Well, I'm sure. Like, I mean, I wasn't nuzlocking them. I was just playing them normal. I just remember these games being extremely frustrating because they're even more on rails and even more handholdy than already the most on rails and handholdy Pokemon games.
Yeah. I don't.
And the
It's
fact
weird,
that they
like-
make you do the fucking like some bullshit mini games, I hate that so much.
Yeah, the Mantine surfing I like as a novelty, but they do the mini game takes
It
a little
sucks.
bit too long.
It fucking sucks. I hate it.
I think they're pretty much on point with
Yeah, we can put 'em
around the
next to
same
'em.
area as the originals. They have strengths and weaknesses individually that I don't know. Like if they were both combined where you got the cool story beats of Sun and Moon and the difficulty of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I think that combined would have made a better game. But it feels like they just aped the fusion mechanic from Black and White Kyurem for Duskmane and Dawnwing's Necrozma.
yeah.
So I think it was just it kind of sucked.
What about Detective Pikachu?
This is just like what if Ace Attorney but Pokemon
Have you actually played this?
like for 15 minutes. This
All
is
right,
like
hasn't played.
We finally
yes.
have a haven't
Let's
played
go.
game. And you know what? I could put Detective Pikachu Returns in there too.
I've been thinking about scooping this up because I've seen it go on sale for like $20, and it doesn't look like the worst thing in the world to me.
For
I've
me, I was
heard-
just bored by it too quickly, so I tabbed out and didn't play it again.
The reason I haven't gotten this is through word of mouth. I've heard that they're horrible. I've heard that they're for like 2-year-olds.
Yeah, it is just baby's first Ace Attorney.
Yeah. All right, let's
So-
go Pikachu. Let's go Eevee.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. These games are guilty pleasures.
I like 'em a
but
lot.
they are what?
I like them a lot.
I like them a lot too. I think doing like the chains for shiny hunting is fun. I like the fact that you can 2-on-1 trainers to beat their ass because it's very funny that you can just.
I
do
bought
that.
I bought the Pokeball controller to play through these.
You bought that?
I have the.
I
special
didn't even
edition
buy
for-
that,
I
and
have
I'm
the
a
special
Pokemon
edition.
guy.
I got the special edition for both Pikachu and Eevee, and I played through it twice.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah, no,
the
I
thing
was
gave me hand cramps because it was too small in my hand.
Yeah. For me, I just had fun being able to play the game with one hand. I would literally lay in
That is
bed
fun.
with the switch on the TV and just sit there with like moving exactly my thumb and index finger and
But
doing nothing else.
We can't possibly put this in the same tier as the original though. Like it has to be one down.
I agree. I think this is the worst iteration of Kanto, but it is such a guilty pleasure. It's so fun.
It is. B tier.
All right, Sword and Shield.
Sword and
Let's just
Shield.
put these in the appropriate tier.
No. What the?
These
come
games
on now.
blow.
No.
These games blow. These games
No.
blow.
They're not
All
F
right.
tier. Shut the fuck up. They're
All
better
right,
than
sure,
goddamn
we'll put them in the
Hades.
appropriate tier.
No, they're better than D tier too.
Then. Come on, I hate
I
these
like-
games. They're
I like-
so freaking boring.
I like these games more than Coliseum and XD at least. I think that's the floor.
I'm
The-
not putting these games above Johto games. Like I will even
Okay.
like these games more than Johto.
I think these games get kind of a bad rap. Like Dexit was a big deal when that happened.
I
think-
still am not over Dexit.
The games themselves feel a little half-baked, but I like some of the ideas.
I thought it was fine. I think the raid battle against like Eternatus was cool.
No, that's
the base
lame.
stat
All that
total of
shit-
1,125.
No, all that shit's fucking stupid. I hate all of that. But I like the idea of having like the wild areas. They're cool. This is before like they expanded it to be the whole game, you know, with the sequels.
Yeah. I remember exploring it and
I-
having a fun time just learning what was catchable, what you could, and then learning that all of the raid dens you could actually interact with if you got enough like watts for the wishing pieces.
I like
and
how
just-
involved the champion is in your quest, and I like that when shit goes down, he's the first like point of attack and not you. Like everything
Yeah.
doesn't fall to you. It's like, no, there's adults here that try to take care of the problem first, and only when they fail do you have to like step in and do your magic.
Yeah, and then you beat the heck out of Leon, and
I-
it's just like, I was
I-
better than you the whole time.
I think these games are really. I really love the tournament at the end. As I said, the way the Pokemon League is structured in these games has always made no fucking sense. But in this
Yeah.
one, it actually makes sense. For the first time in Pokemon's history, the like way it's laid out actually makes sense.
The
and I
Galarian
value
Star
that.
tournament was cool. I do like that. I just wish that they had the returning, previous gen folks like they did.
Yeah, I
in,
mean, it was
Gen
cooler
5.
when they did it in Black 2 and White 2, but like as a story, as like a self-contained region for this, I think the tournament and that whole storyline works really well. I like what they did with the gyms. I think they're all pretty unique. Like I think these
Yeah,
have some of the
the
best
gym
gyms
puzzles are
in
cool.
Pokemon.
Although I do find it funny that they had the stupid rotating the stick one. I'm like, did we not learn from Mario Party where we just put the palm to the stick so we could rotate it as fast as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember that one. Which one
Oh.
was that?
Oh, I think it was the one that's either Alistair, the ghost type one, or B for the fighting type one. I
Okay.
think that was in Stone's side.
Despite how shittily it's done, because it's literally just one hallway, I think the idea of that punk town was really cool. How the guy is just like jilted and he got left behind because he refuses to use the Gigantamax or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, for Piers in
Yeah. I
yeah.
think that story beat was kind of cool. I like how the evil team this time are just over enthusiastic fans of one trainer.
they're
that's
just
pretty
Sims
funny.
for Marnie.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
It's like the precursor of when VTubers started getting popular in the States. You have like these people that
Yeah.
like worship Marnie as their Oshi, and it's so funny.
That's cool. I kind of like these games. I
All right,
definitely
fine,
don't
You've
think
convinced
they're
me
fucking
on
terrible.
B tier.
I don't think I'd go as high as B, but I could do C. Like you wanted to put them at F and D. I had to talk you off that ledge.
I think they are substantially better than Gen 6 and 7, but they're still
I don't think they're better. I wouldn't even say that. I think they're C.
I think they have a lot less handholdy stuff.
They definitely are a lot less handholdy. Like, if I
Yeah.
were to... You make a good point, because if I were to want to replay a Pokemon game right now, like you shove it in my face, I would pick these before I would pick Sun and Moon.
Mm-hmm.
For
I
that
agree.
reason alone. You make a good point there.
I also love the wild area basically allowing you to diversify your team however you want.
Oh, yeah. You have access to more Pokemon at the beginning of this game than you do in any other.
You have access to 400 Pokemon.
That's
You have, or
you
like
actually know.
380 or something
That's
before the
crazy.
first gym.
That's more than entire games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
All
dex is only 400 Pokemon, so
Well,
you get
I mean,
access
you just
to
have
almost
access to all of
everything.
it. That's funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I
I'd
top
slap
of
'em in
C
C.
or B. What do you
Slap them
think?
in C. I'd put them in C. They
Okay.
feel like C's to me.
All right. Rescue Team DX.
It's a remake. It doesn't count.
I agree. They're fine.
Just put it next to the other ones.
Put it
Whatever.
next to them. I think the Mega Evolutions is a superfluous addition.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's fine. But
Can we talk about this train wreck, this travesty next?
new Pokemon Snap.
This
yeah,
game's fucking dog shit. Oh my
I
god.
agree. This is D for dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Bordering
Like,
F, but
I didn't
I'd
even
say D.
like the original original Snap.
It's so much worse than the original.
Speaking of
Snap.
which, why is where is the original Snap?
It's
Oh,
in
it's in
C.
C. Okay, that is better.
No,
so
the new one's a lot worse than the original.
Yeah.
Because instead of progression being based on like you solving puzzles in the world, progression is now based on arbitrary checklists, and you must replay the same level over and over and over and over again to unlock the next area. You got to do them in like at night. It's like, all right, you did it. Okay, now it's nighttime, and like 2 Pokemon are different, and there's so much fucking dialogue too. It's not a fun game at all.
I don't know why people went crazy for that. They went crazy because it was a sequel to Snap.
Yeah. Well, I like Snap, but like this was just so much worse.
Yeah, I could not care less for this game.
All right. The Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, what do we think?
These are the peak of Gen 4. I do not care what anybody else says. These are great. They run at such lightning fast speeds. I think that the competitive sets that they gave to the Pokemon for boss battles are sick. Have you ever seen listen, Cynthia has a Flame Orb Marvel scale Milotic. Like, she has competitive sets on her Pokemon, and I got my ass kicked when I played these for the first time because I was not prepared.
That is not what I expected you to say. at
Oh
all.
no, I love these games.
I am not haters of these by any means, but they are also cheaply done, not
Oh yeah,
the
they're
highest
cheaply
quality
done.
remakes.
But what they did for the quality of like for the battles, I think they did what they could with those just to
I
make
don't
it
think-
more interesting.
I don't think we can put these any higher than the originals. I think we can put
No.
them next to them. I'd be fair with that.
I don't know. I think these are better than Platinum.
That's insanity. If anybody watched this channel, you'd be getting flamed for that. But
You know
nobody
what?
does.
I'm
You're
gonna make
safe.
sure my viewers see this, and they are gonna flame me in the comments. And you know what? That's
All right.
okay. They already do that enough.
What did I call the most overrated Pokemon earlier? I changed my mind because it's Legends Arceus.
Yeah. I like this game though. It's just a collectathon, but Pokemon.
That's why I don't like it.
I liked Mario 64. I liked
I like Mario
Banjo
64 as well.
Kazooie.
I don't like.
I
doing,
just like the fact that stars and jiggies are just Pokemon in this game.
I don't like doing checklists, and that's what a lot of this game is.
That's fair. Me, I'm one of those suckers who likes to see line go up and number go up. So when I see that, my brain releases
Yeah, but, like,
dopamine.
The fact that like in order to fill out Pokedex entries, you need to like see them each doing arbitrary things like Rattata must use tackle 10 times. I don't want to.
Rattata's not in the game, Jason.
Whatever the fucking Pokemon. Wurmple uses Spring Shot 10 times. Then that's how you fucking
Use
fill
Agile
out-
Style Psy Shield Bash
You
30
get what I'm
times
saying,
to evolve
though. You get what I'm
Stantler.
saying. All the fucking like Pokedex entries are just shit like that I don't want to grind out.
Yeah, obtain 50 of this Pokemon.
Ugh. And the story is such dog shit, and they make you fucking match through all that dialogue.
Yeah. There is a reason I have not done a Professor Oak's challenge of this game, and it's because of all of those Pokedex completion requirements.
All of the things people like about this game are like only exciting in the context of Pokemon getting so samey, and it's really exciting to see them try and do new things. But I don't think the game by itself works that well.
I hope that Legends ZA expands upon it and does better. I feel like we are saying the same thing about Pokemon that we say about Sonic. Legends Arceus feels like Pokemon's Sonic Frontiers.
I make this point in the Nintendo Direct discussion that is hopefully out by now. I'm gonna have to get that out today. But I say that in this game, Legends Arceus, there's no incentive to battle, and it seems like in the new one they're going out of their way to give us an incentive to battle, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I think, the stuff that they revealed in today's Direct with, like, the Pokemon Battle Royale, which makes me wonder, are they going to do a multiplayer of that? Because if they throw 100 people into an arena for that, I'm on board.
The battles would have to be they'd have to be a lot faster than, like, a normal Pokemon battle, then, if that's the case.
Well, they are active time. Like, they're not
I can't
anymore.
wait to see what that's going to be. That's going to be so weird.
Dude, I can't wait to study Pokemon frame data so that I can never lose a Nuzlocke.
God damn. All right, what tier are we feeling though? Like, obviously they're not like. I don't think this is an awful game. I just think people overrate it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a B tier game.
Okay, all right, sure.
Finally,
all right, finally,
we have reached Generation 9, Scarlet and Violet.
Weird one to rank.
I have never played these on actual hardware.
Only emulators?
Yes. The reason being, I don't want my view tarnished of these games being great just because of how badly they run on the original system.
Yeah, I mean, they're broken pieces of shit, but they're kind of fun. I had fun with them.
Yeah. They are much better when you're able to, like, put them at 2 times speed and kind of blaze through them.
I will say the ending of these games, like the final story sequence and like the big crater, is probably the best storytelling Pokemon has ever done in its entire history.
I agree. I felt the emotion of, like, Arven not having his mother or father around. Nimona also having her parents, like, run a company and just let her be whatever. And, you know, you can tell that she has, like, high-functioning autism in that. And I related to that so much playing it. Penny being, like, this reserved woman this reserved girl that just wanted, like, her friends to be around, and, like, the whole Team Star aspect. Like, these people just being tired of being bullied and being, like, harassed for who they were. And I think all of these little story beats wrapped up there, and it was crazy. I also thought, like, the reveal of Arven's, you know, parent, depending on which version you play, being dead was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
What tier are we thinking? What are we thinking, though?
You know, unfortunately, that's just such a small part of the game, though.
Yeah.
And
they have obvious flaws. We can't put this in S or A.
Yeah. I think the DLC helps a lot.
I have not played through the DLC. Still haven't played it.
The DLC stories are also really good. Just the both of the what were the names of them? Teal Mask and what's the second one called?
My experience with these
Area
games,
Zero or something.
I don't know. I played through these games. I went to a midnight release, and I spent the next basically just like 24 hours just playing the game. I finished them in one sitting because I wanted to get a video out as fast as possible on them.
Same.
And then I did, and nobody watched it.
I'm sorry.
Nobody gave a fuck.
For me, I think I got, like, Scarlet, like, 3 or 4 days early from somebody who had, like, the physical copy.
Oh, because you didn't even, like, you just fucking emulated it, yeah. It probably leaked.
No, I got a physical copy. I did the same thing for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I got Brilliant Diamond, like, 2 weeks early physically.
Okay.
I just had somebody that had access to, like, the whatever distributor for it.
This was days after I got laid off, so...
Oh,
it was
okay.
like, I remember because normally I buy the double pack and I get both, but in this case it was like, oh, can I even get one version of the game now? I don't even know if I don't know if I have money to pay rent and like fucking do anything really. So That was kind of scary, but like I did buy one version and I rushed out a video, which I think, considering I made the thing in like one day, I think it came out okay. But I wish I had more time to like marinate on it, you know?
Yeah. I think
Because
these games are definitely like an improvement on that like open world that Legends Arceus did, and I love the story beats of the post gyms
yeah,
of this game as well as in the DLC. And because of that, I think we've finally gotten out of the rut of like mediocre Pokemon games, and they finally got back to like A tier.
I think these are B. I want to put them in B.
It feels weird because I don't want to put them right next to Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I don't think they're on par with those games. I think they're better.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it's silly we put those. I mean, I was thinking bottom of B if I'm gonna rank them in the tier, honestly.
Really?
Because these games have just such obvious flaws. Like they're pieces of shit.
They
like
do.
they don't function.
They don't function. Like, I don't know. I guess my
The fact
view
that you
is
can't
definitely.
The fact that you cannot go into any buildings in this game, like that's so shitty.
Yeah, I guess I never really give a shit about that. I just go into buildings to buy items and to obtain items from NPCs. I never really pay attention to what NPCs have to say in Pokemon games.
I mean, it's just like a world thing. It's just like, okay, this world has no indoors.
This does not exist.
Except
where's
for like
the
the
bed?
main school. Like, I guess you can go inside the school, but that's it.
The school, you could take classes in the school.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
No,
I don't know. I
they
think
suck.
you're probably right about it being B tier.
Okay.
I think my view is definitely tainted by the fact that I've never played it on original hardware, and therefore have a better view of the game because its performance never hampered my experience.
All right, so that's the full list. I feel like we don't have enough in D and F, because if this were just my list, I would move a whole bunch of shit down there. But you know,
Yeah, I think that's
collaborative
just
effort.
hard for Pokemon because none of the games are absolute dog water, like except for what's down here
I
in
think
F.
I think we
Even
were
D
too
has some
nice.
intrinsic value. I would even say New Pokemon Snap is like F.
I think we were too nice on most of the spin-offs. Like, fucking
Okay,
telling
try
me
to convince me.
goddamn. You're telling me like goddamn Rumble doesn't belong in D and F. I don't fucking buy that.
I could say I don't know. There's some intrinsic value to
like
to
the whole series,
Rumble.
like the fucking Ranger series, Poke Park series. Who gives a fuck about these?
You know,
I mean, we
guess
don't have to
get
move
it.
them around. Like, this is fine. Like, cementing this in amber. I'm just like personal grapes. That's just what I'm gonna say.
That's fair. I think we have a decent bell curve though.
But this is fine. Yeah, I'm okay with this list. Like, if I look at S tier, it's like, yeah, those seem like those are the best ones minus Conquest.
You know, yeah. I mean, I just fight for Conquest because I love strategy or like tactical RPGs.
Sure.
I love these games.
I
So,
mean, to be fair, I've never played it, but I'm resistant to the fact that a spin-off could be that high.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think the story is fine. I think the fact that you could you have like so many different side stories as well for pretty much every kingdom that you can play through as them being like the protagonists of their own story beats, and I think it just goes really hard in terms of how much content there is, how much you can do with like individual links with different warriors and their Pokemon. I just think it's peak in terms of spin-offs. I love it.
Okay, well, yeah, that was our Pokemon tier list. Hayden lists for most of it, I'd say, like at least half of it.
You hated the list for half
No,
of it?
Hayden, like his name, HPR Shredder's name is Hayden, as in
Oh.
like Hayden was not a part of most of
I
this
see.
video.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah,
I didn't
mean,
hate it.
I feel bad that he wasn't able to be around for most of this, but you know,
Sorry.
considering
Duty
the fact that
calls.
he didn't have as much experience, I get it.
Duty
But
calls.
yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this and want me to also be here again, you should tell them in the comments how I saved your dog from a burning building.
I'm sure we'll have you back at some point doing something. All right, yeah. Like and subscribe, everybody. Hell yeah.